anytime I have the opportunity to make high content and push it out, it always gives me pleasure. Thank you all for being a big fan of Adultainment. If you're just tuning in, this is Adultainment, and I'm your humble host, Tolu Adultainment. So guys, if you're a returning subscriber, I welcome you back, and if you're just tuning in, do well to subscribe and have more content awaiting you. So guys, you see this thing called social media. Sometimes I wonder if it's really a blessing, because especially to this generation, interestingly, it's just a matter of how we make use of this social media, because it is a blessing actually. However, the negativity that surrounds social media is something that one should really take caution, because you can either gain from social media or lose from it. So these days, it's been a thing of concern to me, hearing stories of how marriages crash, and I'm like, okay, if marriage were to be airplanes, perhaps we'll be short of airplanes by now, because the rate at which marriages are crashing, oh gosh, is nothing to write home about. And I'm like, okay, what is the devil's agenda about marriage? Because it just dawned on me now that marriage is a God-ordained institution, and so because of this, the devil is really fighting marriage, seriously fighting marriages, and is ensuring that marriages don't last. Because that's the thing. And the painful part of this crashing of marriages is not even the ones that are new or fresh. Imagine a marriage of 10 years, 15, 20, 25, 30, still crashing. Oh gracious Lord. And guess what? I'm feeling that the devil is using this medium to actually discourage the younger generation, or to make us view marriage as a terrible thing or a necessary evil that is not worth it. It's not worth your time, because in the end it will crash. So what's the point? But I'm here to stand for marriage, because I am not here to talk about what anybody is saying about marriage. I'm not here to talk about what anybody is doing or what we're seeing on social media about marriages. But I'm here to tell you from the standpoint of the creator of marriage. Marriage is a good thing, and it remains a good thing till he says otherwise. And if marriage is a good thing, then I feel that one's marriage should be something that you hold dear. Because if you hold it dear, really, I don't think it should crash and you do nothing about it. Now let me ask you this question quickly. If mistakenly the screen of your phone got damaged, do you throw the phone away because the screen of the phone get damaged? I bet you won't, especially if you're using an expensive phone. You would endeavor to take that phone to the repairer's place, and you are willing to spend whatever amount it will cost you to put that phone back in its normal place. Why? Because when you consider how much that phone costs, when you consider the worth of that phone, you will know that a screen is something that can be repaired, and so rather than dispose the phone, you would repair it and continue to use the phone. Why don't we have the same mindset about marriage? Why do we think we can go into marriage and come out just anyhow we want? Why do we think that we can go into marriage, and once we think that we can no longer go further, we are done and everybody goes their separate ways? That's not the idea that God has about marriage. Trust me. And if you must do marriage the God way, you must know what God is saying about your marriage. In the first place, your marriage should be built on Christ, which is the solid rock. And I can assure you that if your marriage is built on Christ, which is the solid rock, storms of life will come, that is certain, but your marriage can never crash. Now, talking about crashed marriages, these are marriages of celebrities, people that we respect so much, people that we look forward to, people that some of us even pray to be like in the nearest future, because we feel that they are successful, they are doing well. But how come their marriages are not doing well? How come their marriages are crashing? So many instances on social media. For the purpose of today's video, I would like to use
Kora Obidi
marriage as my case study, and I'd like to draw out some very, very important lessons that I was able to pick based on some personal research I made that led to the crash of a marriage. Now, for some of us that knows this very popular celebrity, she and her husband, you know how they're always loved up, you know, they do their loved up, all those paparazzi on social media, and they give every single details of their life, of their family, of their relationship, and put everything out there on social media. And so many of their fans love them, you know, and that's why you can really not afford to compare yourself to any other person. Although they are showing you their love life and all that, and it looks as if everything is going on smooth and fine, do you know that they might finish that video and fight, as in have a serious fight? Or many other things that could have happened. Of course, they will cover all that. So if you are one of those that you're always there looking forward to or looking up to people like that and wanting to be like them, then I think you should have a rethink after the announcement that they're having a divorce, that certain information about this couple began to come up. And one thing that actually shocked me, which really shocked me a lot, one of the things that the guy said was that is having a divorce because in the first years of their marriage, that the man had been trying. That was the way he put it. He says, I have tried to save this marriage. Don't forget that all those periods were the period that they were showing you people. They will come and dance and they will kiss themselves, they will do this, they will do all manner of things, and everybody will be like, oh God, when? The man had been taking in so many things during those periods when you were seeing all loved up photos and videos of them together. So you see why I said social media is a place where you edit the truth and present the rest of the world. So you cannot afford to base your life, to base your standard, to base your desire, your future, or even your prayer points on social media. It's very, very risky. All the while, the man had a lot of things he was battling with, but he could not open up. It was after the old divorce saga that this information sprang up. So apparently, this man had been dealing with a lot of things that he could not come out to the open to say, which brings me to the very first major lesson that I learned from that, which is it takes two for marriage to work. Now, not much was said from the wife's hand, but the man said he had done everything he could to save their marriage. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe the wife was not ready to do anything she could to save their marriage. And this was what led to the crash of their marriage. Which means no matter the efforts that one person puts in saving the marriage, it might still not yield much result, because it takes the two of them in the union to work together as a team to save their marriage. And when I say that successful marriages don't just happen by chance, it is a deliberate action by both partners. I think I now have a pure evidence to back up that statement. So if you would have a successful marriage, both the man and his wife must be willing to make it work. Another thing that actually caught my interest was the fact that some of the things that he identified as some of the issues that actually eventually led him to say, I need a divorce, is, he mentioned it. Let me read it the way he said it. And these were the exact words that he said. He says, I'm tired of narcissism, cheating, and lack of accountability. I've been trying since 2018 to save our marriage, and if I don't do exactly what she says, she divorces me. I've been a prisoner that has his family used against him if she doesn't get exactly what she wants. And I'm like, okay, so the lady has been domineering according to the tone of his voice in that note, in that message. It means that whatever the man says in the marriage does not count. And so the lady is all about herself. Because if you look at the word narcissism, it means excessive love for one's body. And we all know that she's a dancer. She's practically nude when she dances. And I'm like, they wear clothes, auntie? Because I tried looking up social media accounts and I was going through her pictures and videos. And the most of the time she was almost naked. Even when she was pregnant, she just opens everything. And I guess the man wasn't so comfortable about this whole thing. He was only pretending to us. Because by the time they are showing us their videos, they are laughing, they are dancing and all that. And you feel that all is fine, but the man was not comfortable with it. I mean, this is supposed to be my personal property. Opening it and exposing it to the entire world, no man likes that. And so maybe stylishly in their personal conversations outside the camera, it tries to push it to her that, hey babe, even in pregnancy, it's obvious that the lady is not willing to change. And of course, even the Bible says that can two work together except they agree? The answer is obvious. And in the end, marriage crashes. And another big lesson that I took from this is that if you don't value what you have, people will trample on it. And for me, if you would ask me, as a woman, you're supposed to be a builder. You're supposed to be a gatekeeper. You should be standing at the gate of your marriage to protect it from contamination. Because the truth is, it's not everybody that is happy, especially if you're happy in your marriage. So if all you do is give so much information, even to what you do in your bedroom, everything is out, then how then do you protect or guard it when you have already exposed everything? Now let me give you a scenario. If you have a Dunlop slippers, or you buy a Dunlop slippers, you can just leave it outside. Or you leave it outside, sun will beat it, rain will fall on it. If you have a dog can come and just lay around it, because it's a Dunlop slippers, and so not much value is placed on it. So, on the other hand, if you are a fan of jewelries and you bought an expensive jewelry, trust me, you won't just throw it outside. Why? Because you know the worth and the value of what you have, and so you will keep it. Some will even have a jewelry box, and even the jewelry box will come with a lock where you lock it. So it's not everybody that have access to it. That's the same way marriage should be treated. Marriage should be given so much value. You don't just give so much information about, this thing is supposed to be marriage. It's supposed to be an inside activity. And so when an inside activity becomes a public show, then you should expect anything. There's a saying in my language that what that simply means is, what is whatever we value that we keep, and it is what we keep that has value. If you value your marriage, keep it. If you look at those people that have been married for 20, 30, 40 years and they are still together, it is because they cherish and they value what they have, they value what they share. But if you feel that marriage is, let's see how it goes, once I'm not cool with it, I'm out. I think there's a perception that these people, these so-called celebrities, have about marriage. They feel that, okay, I see this guy, I like him, we fall in love, we get married, we see how it goes, and once we are no longer cool with each other, everybody goes their way. That's a very wrong mindset about marriage. You should attach so much value to marriage. If you do, trust me, even when it's at the verge of crashing, you will still do something to ensure that it doesn't crash. If your phone is about to fall, you don't just watch it fall, because you know the value of your phone, you know the worth of your phone, especially if you're using an expensive phone, for God's sake. You try, sometimes you even enjoy yourself because you don't want the screen of your phone to break. That's the same kind of value mindset we should put on our marriage. Our marriage should hold so much value such that even when it is at the verge of, we still do everything possible to ensure that no, it doesn't crash. So don't join those people that go into marriages and once after 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years and they see that things are no longer going on with them, they just end it. Don't do that. Do everything to fight for your marriage because it's worth it. Your marriage is worth the fight. I just put myself in the shoes of Cora. I'm like, okay, a marriage that I've fought for 5 years, because I think they were married for 5 years before they got divorced. A marriage I've built, for 5 years. This is something that I've put in my life, my energy, my brain, my intelligence into for 5 years. And then my husband is telling me that he wants to end it. And I know the reason why. And I'm still not ready to do anything to make it work. That's not something to envy, really. The other time, somebody was saying all these celebrities. And you can't blame the person now. Because I wonder why they are called celebrities. Because sometimes they don't even represent the names that we call them. How can you claim to be a celebrity and your marriage is crashing? And then you are celebrating your marriage that has just crashed. In fact, they don't even see it as a big deal these days. They even celebrate it. To show that I really took time to do my research on these couples, for the purpose of actually identifying some of the lessons we can learn so that we don't fall into the same pit that we are behind. We look at those that have gone ahead and we learn from them. So whatever mistakes that they have made, we try not to make such mistakes. And that's the idea of this video. I know some people that are watching are still singles. Some are just about to go into the institution of marriage. So please don't go with this mindset of, I cannot come and kill myself. If you work, fine. If you not work, make everybody go in Papa's house. No, don't do that. Only on the ground of threat to life should one give up a marriage. That is how much value you should put on your marriage. Except there's a threat to your life. I mean, look at the ongoing gospel artist that just lost her life. She was in an abusive marriage, and because of what people will say, in quotes, what would the church say, what would people say, as a gospel artist, she has so much fans. She will sing and people will be blessed. But she has a lot of things that is eating her up that she cannot open her mouth to say. And you won't know was enduring an abusive marriage. And no, that one I don't support. Except on the ground of threat to life. Do everything in your power to save your marriage. This is the end time. The devil is really fighting marriages. Make sure your marriage is not one of them. I am a kingdom marriage ambassador, and I believe that marriages are working. We have people that are celebrating 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of marriage. So marriages are working. It means your marriage can work, except, again, with emphasis on the ground of threat to life. If that's the basis, please run. Because your life is the most important. It is only someone that is alive that can think of saving marriage. Your marriage is not worth your life. It's worth every other thing, but not your life. And then another very big lesson is,
thank you all for reaching out and for everything. I honestly don't know what I'll do without your support. I love you so much. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. And I hope that me finding the strength to come up here will make you happy. I love you.
Wow. So your fans on social media are actually more important than your marriage that is already at the verge of crumbling. And you were able to gather energy to make a video for your fans to see. But you were not willing to gather energy to fight for your marriage that is crumbling. What a misplacement of priority. This is a marriage that so many people are praying to God to have. We have so many singles in their late 30s, in their 40s that are trusting God for a life partner. They are trusting God for a blessing of marriage. And you, lucky enough, you got married early, you have children, and you don't think that your marriage is something to gather energy to fight for. Rather, your fans on social media, they are the ones that are important to you, that you were able to gather strength to talk to them, and that was it. Just that. And people will go on with this mindset that, see, I cannot kill myself. Nobody's saying you should kill yourself. We're only saying value what you have, because it's not everybody that has this opportunity. A lot of people are actually praying day and night, going on mountains, fasting to have this blessing that you have. So when you have it, hold it dear to your heart. Cherish it with all that you have. Your marriage is worth fighting for. However, your marriage is not worth your life. So if you're married, stay married. And if you are not ready to be married, stay single. Stop giving us a bad conception about marriage because of your own failed marriage. Stop making us think that marriage is a bad thing. That's not true. Everywhere the Bible described marriage, it described it as a good thing. The Bible says it's not good for a man to be alone, which means it is good for a man to be married. But social media is making us feel that marriage is a bad thing. That's not true. And that's why I really want you to watch a video that I titled, Why You Must Get It Right. If you're yet to see that video, please go through my channel and make sure you watch that video. So if you are married and you are married to the right person, there's really no need for marriage to crash. Sincerely. Because this thing is actually painful. I love the concept of marriage, family, relationship. These concepts are things that prick my interest. And so when I see negativities around this subject matter, it pains me to the bone. Like, what are you saying? Why are you giving the devil a upper hand? And now the devil will be hyping himself that, yes, my agenda concerning marriages, I want to release your marriage for the devil to become. Don't release your marriage for the devil to use to tatete. Devil is using marriages of people to play games. That's if you give him a chance. Don't give him a chance at all. If some people have half as much as what you have, they will hold it dear to their hearts. Maybe because they get this thing so easily said. That's why they don't value it. Because when I looked at how they got married, both of them, it was online. So in short, don't vex. In fact, now I don't even know what to say. I'm vexing. I'm not saying anything again. That's all I have to say. I just pray you will hear and get my message. So thank you for watching here. My name is still Itululu Anitemi. It has not changed. Please ensure to subscribe if you are yet to. Thank you. Friends, please subscribe to my channel because more people need to hear this message. Really. They need to know that they need to cherish and value their marriage. Marriage is a good thing. And let that stick. Let it ring in your head that marriage is a good thing. And if you want to get married, stay married. If you know you're not willing to pay the sacrifices of keeping your marriage, then remain unmarried. Period. That's my take. Thank you. Bye-bye.